All right, welcome. Today, we're doing a high-speed tour of JavaScript. You know, the language that powers pretty much everything you click on and interact with online. This right here, this is your accelerated guide to mastering the modern web. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. This isn't some boring theoretical lecture. Nope, this is all practical, no-fluff stuff. The essentials you actually need to start building things, like right now. So, think of this as your personal blueprint, your map. We're going to cover all the important ground, point out the major landmarks, and show you the most direct path to get from, beginner to someone who actually builds stuff. Okay, so let's get right into it. Before we really dig into JavaScript, you've got to understand where it fits in the grand scheme of things. See, every single website you've ever been to, it's built on these three core pillars. And it's a really simple but powerful way to think about it. First, you've got HTML. That's the skeleton, the bare bones structure. Then comes CSS, which is like the skin. It handles all the style, the colors, the fonts, how everything looks. And then what about JavaScript? Well, that's the brain. It's what makes the website come alive with all the interactivity and logic. All right, so we've established that JavaScript is the brain. Now let's open up the toolkit and look at the absolute essential gear you're going to be using all the time on this coding adventure. First things first, how do we store information? Well, in modern JavaScript, you've really got two main options, const and let. And the rule here is super simple. Just default to const, always. Only switch to let if you absolutely know that value has to change later on. Oh, and that old var thing you might see in old tutorials? Yeah, just pretend it doesn't exist. Now, these are your absolute fundamental building blocks. You've got strings, which is just text inside quotes, you've got numbers for doing math, and you've got booleans, which are just a simple true or false. I love the light switch analogy. It's either on or it's off. That's it. Okay, pay attention, because this is a huge pro tip right here. Anytime you're dealing with money in your code, like for a shopping cart or something, always do the math in cents, not dollars. So instead of $1, you work with 100 cents. It's a simple trick, but it completely avoids all those weird tiny rounding errors you can get with decimals. It'll save you so many headaches. So you've got all this data. Now what? Well, you use functions to do stuff with it. And a function is really just a reusable recipe for code. Seriously, that's the best way to think about it. You write the instructions once, slap a name on it, and then you can call on that recipe over and over again whenever you need it. Okay, so as your programs start getting bigger, just having single pieces of data floating around isn't going to cut it. You need better ways to organize all that information and, just as importantly, control what your code does and when. That's what this is all about, taming the complexity. And really, there are two big players when it comes to structuring data. You've got arrays, which are just simple ordered lists. Think of a shopping list. Item 1, item 2, item 3. Then you have objects, which are much more descriptive. They let you group related data together to represent a single thing using key value pairs, like a user that has a name, an email, and an age. This is how your code starts making decisions, how it gets smart. The classic if statement is like a fork in the road. If this is true, go left, otherwise, go right. The ternary operator, that's just a super compact one-line version of the same idea. And for going through every single item in a list, an array, the modern for of loop is your best friend. It's just so clean and easy to read. All right, nice. You've got the fundamentals down. Now it's time to level up. We're going to look at some seriously powerful modern JavaScript features that will make your code way more efficient and just better. Seriously, it's time to stop writing those long, clunky for loops for everything. I mean, the for of loop is good, don't get me wrong, but for a lot of common tasks, there are even better, more powerful built-in ways to handle arrays. Let's start with map. This is your go-to when you need to transform every single item in an array. The keyword is transform. For example, you could take a list of numbers and map over it to create a whole new list where every number is doubled. Then we have filter, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It's for when you want to pick and choose items from a list. You give it a condition, and it creates a new array with only the items that meet that condition. It's like sifting through a list and keeping only what you want. And the last of the big three is reduce. You use this one when you need to take an entire array and boil it all down to just one single value. The classic example? Taking a list of numbers and reducing it down to the total sum. Super powerful. So how do we actually make a web page interactive?
We use JavaScript to talk to the page through something called the DOM. And honestly, it's almost always a simple three-step dance. Step 1, you grab an element on the page. Step 2, you change something about it. Step 3, you listen for the user to do something like click it. Select, change, listen. That's the core loop.
Whoa, okay, we have just covered a ton of ground and fast. But look, all of this theory is great, but it's only half the battle. You want to know the secret to making it all stick? It's simple. You have to build stuff. Now, as you start building these projects, you're going to run into a couple of more advanced ideas. I just want to give you a quick heads up. You'll see things like classes, which are basically blueprints for creating lots of similar objects. Super useful for games. And you'll see async await, which is just a really clean way to handle things that take time, like getting data from the internet so your app doesn't freeze. Don't stress about mastering them yet. Just know they're coming. So, the big question is, what should you build? Well, I've got 5 perfect starter projects for you. Each one is designed to lock in everything we've just talked about and give you a super solid foundation.
And check it out. Each of these is targeted. The tip calculator, that's all about your core logic and math. The to-do list, that's your masterclass in arrays and messing with the DOM. Rock, paper, scissors will drill all those if-else decisions into your brain. The weather app is where you'll finally tackle fetching real data with that async/await stuff. And a simple game like a Street Fighter clone ties everything together, getting you comfortable with classes and events.
And there you have it. That is your blueprint. You've got the map, you know the essential tools, and you have a list of projects. There's literally nothing else standing in your way. It's time to start coding. So really, the only question left is the one on the screen. Which project are you going to build first? Your speedrun starts right now. Go for it.